Seri, are we still looking at 5?
You are up to 13.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start then. Hi, everyone. This is Jackie Atwell. Welcome to Braille Literacy Live Ask the Expert series with Monica Turner from APH. If you will excuse me, I'm doing part of this, actually doing this from my car. I hit a road closure on my way home. So I have our outstanding administrative assistant, Carrie Michael. She's on the call too. So she is going to also help moderate till I get home. I want to welcome all of you. Monique, would you just mind taking a minute and just, excuse me, Monica, taking a minute and just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Monica Turner, I'm one of our education and outreach specialists. I've been at the printing house for almost 18 years. Got a master's degree in special education, visual impairment, certified Braille transcriber. That's about it.
Super. And today she is going to be hitting kind of the highlights of new APH products. She's going to have a PowerPoint presentation for us, and she might also have some things that she can show. I want to make you aware that there is a chat feature at the bottom of your screen, down at the very bottom. If everyone would just take a moment to introduce themselves through that chat feature, let us know, what state you're from, what you teach, and then if you have any questions right now, go ahead and write those down. I'm going to give everybody a moment to do that.
There it is. I don't think I can see that chat feature when I'm in the share view, so I'll not share for a minute.
Okay, super.
And I'll also put on my glasses so I can see what that says. Okay.
Seri, is everybody posting?
Yes, people are. Oh, yep, people are posting away over here.
Do you mind just kind of reading off who's there and where they're from, just real quick?
Yes. Okay, so we have Pepper Watson from Oklahoma. Kayla Baird. I hope I didn't just butcher your name, from Edmond, Oklahoma. Hi, I'm Charlotte, and I manage pastoral literacy for Perkins School for the Blind and Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. This is Conchita Hernandez. I am the low incidence specialist, blind and low vision for the state of Maryland. I'm specifically looking for tools for students with multiple disabilities learning Braille.
All right, and I am moving right along now, and there was a tree down in the road. Okay.
That makes it a little hard to drive.
Yeah, and my shortcut's closed, but that's okay. All right. Anybody else? Do we have everybody?
I think we're good. Oh,
okay.
This is Mary Hardy, Braille transcriptionist, and Rebecca Izu from TVIs from Washington County, Maryland.
All right, super. Monica, if you want to go ahead and take it away. Thank you so much for being here.
Let me get back in here. Okay, you guys can see the PowerPoint again?
Yes, you can, Monica.
All right, just wanted to make sure. Okay, so I'm just going to, basically what I have in this PowerPoint is an overview of some of our Braille and tactile literacy products. So the ones I have in the front are a couple of the newest ones, so I'm going to definitely want to talk to you about those. And then if you want, we can talk some more about some of the older products as well, or if you want to just ask some questions, we can do that. I'm really going to kind of leave it up to you after I show you these first few newer products that I want to make sure that you guys have a chance to see. So, and then if you want to, I can certainly share this PowerPoint with anybody who would like it later. So let's see if I can get my computer here. Okay. So basically, what is literacy? The ability to read and write, basic skills related to this subject. So you guys are all probably very aware of what literacy is. And basically for children and adults who are blind and with low vision, Braille is the medium of true literacy. So we're going to talk about some of the products that focus on Braille and tactile understanding. So Braille Buzz is one of our new products here, and if anyone there can't see the photo on the screen here, it is shaped like a bumblebee with a black background and yellow buttons. The buttons across the top are honeycomb shape, and they are the letters A through Z in Braille. And then at the bottom of the device, you've got your 6 keys for entering Braille and your yellow in the space bar, and all of those buttons are yellow. The back of the bee is also yellow, and there's a little compartment that you can put the batteries in. So Braille Buzz has 3 modes of play. I'm going to actually show it to you here in a second, but I just wanted to talk to you about it first. You've got phonics mode, so that's a fun sound and a letter association. Then there's keyboard mode, and that gives you all the key combinations announced with the dot numbers. And letters mode is the dot number announcement reinforcing the relationship between reading letters and writing on the keyboard. So it develops finger dexterity in Braille keyboarding, develops emergent phonics and listening skills. The given letter is heard while the correct combination of dot keys are pressed, and the honeycomb buttons with Braille speak the letters when they're pushed. So this is basically how we were trying to solve that little gap where children who are sighted have like the leapfrog toys with the little letters that you can push and they make noise and they're fun and they can play with them on their own and actually get some good practice with them. So this is kind of our way of taking care of that, and I am going to go out of the share screen here so I can show you Braille Buzz. To turn it on, you just hold the letter A.
Hi, I'm Braille Buzz.
Can you guys hear that?
So cute, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn the volume up here. Actually, if you do space plus V, it turns the volume. There's 3 levels to the volume. So right now it is in
A.1.
Your letter mode. So you just, if you press the dot for A,
A.1.
it just says A and it tells you what dot it is. And then on your keyboard down here,
A.
if you press the right combination, it will give you the letter. So if you press the wrong combination,
B.
it's not going to tell you that you're wrong. It's just going to tell you which letter you've made instead.
B.
So you get positive reinforcement no matter which way you do it here. So let me space plus the Braille letter M, or the letter M up here, which I thought I was going to save time by finding it, but I really, M's up there. So if you want to change the mode, it's space
Phonics mode.
plus
Let's
M.
learn letter sound.
So now we're in phonics, so you're going to get,
A makes the sound as in apple.
so it's going to tell you your letter, give you a word association, and then give you the sound.
E makes the sound as in elephant.
So, and then the same thing when if you press down here.
B makes the sound as in bell.
So again, you're getting the sound and letter association, whether you're pushing the Braille dots or you're doing the 6-key Braille entry. And I will change the mode again.
Keyboard mode. Remember, your left hand presses keys 1, 2, and 3. Your right hand always does keys 4, 5, and 6. Your thumbs can press the space bar. Let's try it.
So it actually gives you that little notice every time you go into keyboard mode, and then it allows you to just press.
Dot 1.
And it's just going to tell you what on the keyboard you're pressing.
Dot 1, 2.
So it just gives you.
Dot 1, 2, 3. Space. M.
So it'll just give you the feedback. So if they just want to practice feeling the way the Braille letter feels, they can find the Braille letter
F.
and then they can press on it. It's going to tell them which letter they're on. So basically just a fun and easy way for the kids to get a little bit of that kind of interactive, fun play with time. It's not terribly expensive. I believe it's $99. So this is one that parents can actually, you know, you can afford to have at home for Christmas present or something like that, or maybe get grandmas in on it. So we've just kind of tried to fill that little gap with all the fun little leapfrog toys. Did anybody have any questions about BrailleBuzz? I've got the chat open, so if you want to type, you can type, or if you want to speak, you can speak. But if not, I will go back to sharing our presentation here. Hopefully. There we go. All right, so that was BrailleBuzz. And Tactile Book Builder, and this would be one that would be great for use with students who are multiply impaired. So Tactile Book Builder is a whole selection of binders and various types of pages. So you have magnetic pages, you have plastic pages, you have pages that are made out of that little material that you can cross stitch on. You have templates that come in there that come in that kind of help you do the sim braille on a page. And there's also sound pages, if any of you have used the sound pages before, so you can record information to go along. So you've got audio to go along with it. It comes with some hook and loop material, some magnet strips, things like that, just to allow you to create individualized books for students. So that's a whole, like I said, it's a whole collection of materials. So you're going to build a book and create a child's connection to literacy. And then again, it has those wide selections of materials. It has information books. Apply for services, and then you do it has an information, like a guidebook in there as well, to give you some ideas. And so the pre-cut pages will fit into those binders very easily, and then you can, of course, add your multisensory elements. So we don't actually give you a lot of items. You're going to want to use items that the student is having some familiarity with. So that was Tactile Book Builder.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye, BrailleBuzz. So there's also a CVI Book Builder. So if you've got students that have CVI, you can get the CVI Book Builder kit, and it's similar but doesn't have all the colors and things in it. So it's a much simpler kit. So did anybody have any questions about the Tactile Book Builder? I didn't bring it here to show you because it really is kind of just a selection of pages and all, but you can get a list of all of the things that are in it if you go to the shopping website. And how many of you guys are using building on patterns in the classroom? Are there many of you? I have to stop sharing here real quick. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlotte, you had a question about contractions on the BrailleBuzz. BrailleBuzz doesn't do contractions. So it is just a straight alphabet, A through Z. And I don't know if they're in stock also, Pepper. But if you call customer service, they'll be able to tell you whether or not those are in stock for immediate delivery. So, anybody with questions on Tactile Book Builder or the CVI Book Builder? I'll go back into share and I won't be able to see the text, but I'll check it here again in a minute. Let's see if I can. Buttons. Come on. There we go. Okay. So if you guys are using Building on Patterns, the Building on Patterns pre-K actually just got released, which is very exciting because they have been working on it for a very long time. So I want to show you some information about it. So it's a comprehensive program. It covers listening and speaking. So it has interactive read-alouds using high-quality children's literature. So one of the things that took us a long time was getting the permissions to use a lot of those materials. So you've got rhymes and poems and songs. For reading, you've got Braille awareness. So it teaches the Braille cell, the alphabet, alphabetic word signs, phonemic awareness and phonics, word studies. So you've got your word cards, your games, and there's some worksheets in there. And then there's tactile storybooks as well. So they're engaging, meaningful stories using to use for tracking lines and for some simple vocabulary. So it also covers writing, talks about Braille writer mechanics, letter and word writing, and supported writing of connected text. And there are materials in there for progress monitoring and assessment. And then, of course, it also covers concept development. There's a lot of tie-in activities in there. There's some simple tactile graphics, arts and crafts, songs and poems, so and a lot of suggestions for parental involvement. So it has, the teacher kit has a quick start. It has the Teacher of Students with Visual Impairments booklet. It has a teacher's manual, volumes 1 through 6, and those are available as a free download for Braille. So those of you who aren't aware of all of the free downloads that we have, I can certainly show you that. But if you go to aph.org and type in the Google search bar at the top corner, downloads, you will get a link to all of those free downloadable files. There's a lot of Braille files, but there are also some PDF files and HTML files as well for various documents. And there is a reading roundup booklet, which is the assessment. And then there's also a reference volume. And then the student kit has a preschool teacher booklet, a parent booklet, so that's the booklet you would send home with the parents to help them understand the program, a set of the print children's books, a student set of Braille children's books, student workbooks, tactile storybooks, worksheets, parent letters, manipulatives pack, and monitoring charts and reading roundup consumables. So the one thing that's pretty exciting is actually the website, and I'm going to see if I can manage to get us here and still share it. I think I have to go in and share. Hold on, let's stop share. To go in and share the right thing. Let's see, website. Oh, where is it? Building on Patterns, there it goes. So this is the Building on Patterns website. I don't know if any of you have had a chance to explore this website yet, but it's been all updated and new. So if you go to the pre-K, it'll give you some information similar to some of the same information I just gave you. It'll also give you some download examples of activities you can find inside of it, and teacher reviews. Under teaching components, you've got teaching tools, you've got information about your reference volume, information about assessments, scope and sequence, and then you've got the links for everything in Braille are right on this page as well. Your ordering information, and then your teacher resources. So you've got a frequently answered question or frequently asked questions, your quick start. There are some videos on getting started. There's information about hand under hand support. So there's a lot of information on this website. There are also website here for Building on Patterns kindergarten, first grade, and second grade as well. So I'm going to stop share real quick, just to see if you guys have any questions about that. Hold on, let me put my glasses on. Okay, good for teachers only. Building on Patterns can be used as a standalone curriculum, so I wouldn't see any reason why homeschooling parents wouldn't be able to use it. It is designed to be full curriculum on its own. You don't have to use it with another reading, writing sort of curriculum. And it's a pretty comprehensive kit. The only thing that might be a deterrent there would be the price, because it's pretty extensive. Were there any other questions about Building on Patterns? Let me see. Okay.
Monica, I'm here now, so
okay.
I'll look for the chat for you to let you know if there are any questions that pop up. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. All right, now we'll go back to our slideshow here.
Oh, somebody just did a question. What are the big changes from Charlotte? What are the big changes from the original BOP?
Well, this is preschool. So this one is really more designed for emergent literacy, early literacy. It's a lot of storybooks, songs, poems, the sort of things that you're going to do in a preschool classroom. So that's kind of the difference. The kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, those materials were updated just for the UEB changes. The student materials were. But at this point, now that the Building on Patterns pre-K is done, they're actually going to go back in and revamp those materials as well, because it's been, it's been a significant amount of time since Building on Patterns kindergarten came out. So they're going to go back now, that group of wonderful consultants that we have working on those materials, and they're going to start working on changes. So if you guys are using Building on Patterns and you do have suggestions for any changes or modifications, now would be, excuse me, now would be a really great time to share those with us. All right, let's see. My things are popping up. Okay, here we go. So Building on Patterns, kindergarten through primary grades. And again, it's a complete primary literacy program designed to teach beginning Braille users. So it teaches reading, writing, and spelling. And it's a little bit different from teaching to a student who is sighted, just because the order of materials presented, the order has been changed to make more sense in the way that you would present it to a Braille user based on the contractions and things that they would use. So it addresses phonemic awareness, the ability to hear and interpret sounds, phonics. Excuse me, it's really dry in here. Excuse me. Also address specific skill areas such as language development, sound discrimination, and introduces the Braille contractions from the beginning. Do you mind going and get me some water? Let me give you my cup. I remembered to do that last time. Thank you. Excuse me. Sorry. They've got the heat blowing full blast and it dries everything out in here. Okay. Excuse me. So on the way to literacy series, we have book sets 1, 2, and 3. You guys are probably pretty familiar with these. These are the ones that have been in your classrooms for a long time, and they are designed to be excuse me, fun reading activities. Some of them have the raised thermoform graphics, so more of a three-dimensional sort of graphic. Some of them have a raised line graphic, and then there's actually a few of them that have where you would put in real objects as well. So it's designed to be of various different levels. So you of course want to start with the ones that are more of the real objects, move to the raised thermoform, and then finally more advanced would be the raised line tactile graphics. So they're read aloud books. They're excuse me, they're a little bit different from what you get in a lot of storybooks, like from Seedlings and things, and it's because the way that the braille is under the print, so that the student can be exploring the Braille and they're not actually blocking the print words, to allow for the student and the parent, or the student and the teacher, to work together at the same time, and then they don't have to worry about their hands covering up, because a lot of some of the books will come with your Braille and then the print underneath, and then of course if the student's trying to read the Braille or exploring the Braille, their hands are on top of the print. So these are a little different. So the handbook is for parents and teachers and focuses on communication, hand skills, tactile exploration, concepts, and book experiences. And then the stories introduce large print, tactile, and Braille. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So just a list of what's in each set. Set 1 is Something Special, Jennifer's Messes, Gobs of Gum, Roly Poly Man, Longest Noodle. I'm not going to read them all there. But that's just kind of, they're divided into 3 different sets. Those sets are not in any kind of order, so they're not like set 1 is beginning and set 2. They're really just in those sets just for purchasing convenience. And then the Moving Ahead series, that's for grades pre-K through 2. It's a little bit more advanced. It's a print Braille storybook series that helps bridge the gap to abstract tactile graphics. The really cool part about these books is that they have in the front kind of a beginning introduction to using a key, like a map key. So they'll have the symbols of what's being used for like the bear and the wolf and the different things that are being used in the various books. Those symbols are at the front. So while the student is working on reading through there, and they have some pretty simple words and things like in there as well, but as they're reading, they're actually can go back to that key and start doing some of those very beginning map reading skills as well. There's a lot of tracking. So like going on a bear hunt, you're actually tracking the bear going through the woods and all of that. So it's a great great opportunity for students to work on their tracking skills. Splish the fish is another one here. It's what's pictured here. So instead of using real objects or molded images or simple raised outlines, this one uses symbolic representation. Then there's also, like Splish the Fish, they also have a storyboard in the back, a hook and loop material storyboard, so that while you're reading the book, the student can actually create the story on the storyboard, which Splish the Fish is a great one. It covers concepts like above, below, beside. So that's a great opportunity for the student to be able to move those pieces and get some basic understanding of those location concepts as well. So with moving ahead, they're excuse me, going to explore tactile illustrations, track different types of lines, encounter tactile symbols, simple keys and maps, discover Braille words embedded in the graphics, and increase their comprehension by using the fold-out map and storyboard. So they do include a large print reader's guide, and the Braille is available. It says sold separately, but I believe it's also available as a free download. They do come with the Braille labels. The Braille words are on stickers, so you do actually have to put the stickers on there. But the reason why we did that is that allows you to choose between contracted or uncontracted Braille, but saves us some money in the production, so we can actually not have to make it more expensive for you to either have contracted or uncontracted. Best for a Nest is a little book that has, it's also a storyboard. So it's a bird and a tree. And it's an interactive storybook that allows you to focus on position of objects, prepositional phrases, and use of tactile symbols. And, okay. I skipped something, but it wasn't, it was just part of, so basically it covers counting left and right, comparisons top and bottom around. So it's those basic concepts, again, that are often very difficult for kids who are blind or visually impaired. It gives them a tactile representation of those. Bear Hunt, another little story and a different version. And so this one is done by it's a French company, Le Petit, I can't pronounce it. I don't know French, but it's done by a French company for us, and it is absolutely beautiful and fabulously done. And so you actually kind of slide things along the page, and there's waving grass, and there's all kinds of just absolutely fabulous tactile graphics. Problem is that it's all hand done, and so it's very expensive, but they are definitely worth the price because they are beautifully done. There's a few of those. There's one called 6 Little Dots, and we did just release a 6 Little Dots card game. You can play this with or without the book, and this is considerably cheaper than the book, but it has different colors that have different dots of the Braille cell represented, and basically it's like kind of a Go Fish sort of game where the student's trying to collect all of the cards of one color that will allow them to make a full Braille cell, a completed Braille cell, because like one card has just dot 1 and another card has just dot 2. So once they have them stacked up all together and they have all 6 pieces, they'd have a full Braille cell. So just a fun little game. You can, of course, incorporate various lessons with that game as well, but you know, once they have 2 or 3, you can have them put them together and figure out which letter do you have in your hand right now, that sort of thing. So, see, we talked about this. Good for using with family members and peers, for social inclusion, and then also just spreading Braille awareness. Flip over concept books are, we've got Line Pass here, but there's also a parts of a whole and a textures, one's for textures. And I believe Karen is maybe working on one that's a facial recognition sort of thing, but I'm not sure where she is on that. But there are plans on having some more of these flip over concept books. So this one, you're introducing directional, spatial, and descriptive vocabulary, such as curvy, straight, and zigzag, tactile discrimination and line tracking, and visual discrimination and line tracking. And for the line pass, for the parts of the whole, you would have like a whole turtle, and then you'd have the front half of the turtle and the back half of the turtle. And then you'd have various other pieces that are broken into halves like that, and they have to track them and put them together. And they're all relatively, they've got some similar concepts, so it's real good for tactile discrimination, because they might look similar or feel similar, but they have some distinct things that are different about them. So this is parts of a whole. You can see a little turtle on there. And we talked about, it does have some basic geometry terms. So you've got symmetry, straight, curved, half, whole, circle, oval, star, and global exploration versus systematic exploration. Goodness gracious. So basically that being able to feel a whole of something versus having to follow every little piece of it.
Could I interrupt you real quick before you start the next one? Because I do have 2 questions.
Oh, okay.
For going back to the BOP pre-K, would you need to purchase the student, print teacher, and Braille teacher kit for it to be beneficial for teachers, parent, and child? And are there any consumables?
There are consumables. And to be perfectly honest, it really just got released. Do we even have a copy? We don't even have a copy. Yeah, you only need the Braille kit if the teacher is Braille. It is a Braille reader. So you would just need the student kit and the teacher kit. And then the student kit would contain any of the consumables. So you'd only purchase the teacher kit once. And the teacher's kit does have information to send home to the parents. It does have multiple copies of that the teacher letter that goes home to the parents, but you can always photocopy that as well. Does that answer that question?
Lisa, could you let us know? Yes. She said yes.
Okay.
And I had a question. Does the BOP address sight words?
Not the pre-K.
Okay.
I don't think that's covered in the pre-K. Like I said, the pre-K is more kind of emergent literacy and focused. Okay. It probably does have some sight words, but that is not it's not the focus.
Right, okay.
All aboard the Sight Word Express is a sight word product that we have that's got a magnetic board, and it's all sight words.
Okay.
So I'm sure that some of those sight words are probably included in building on patterns, but that it's not focused on teaching that way.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Is there a list of consumables in the BOP? This is from Lisa.
I don't. Yeah, let me go to the website here real quick and we'll check it. Let's see. I had that pulled up. Go. So ordering. Okay. So the worksheets pack and the manipulatives, well, probably just the worksheets pack. And then there's Reading Roundup consumables also available online. Let's see here. And I think some of those are available downloadable. Let's click on the student kit here. I'm going to just go to the shopping website here. Replacement items, building on patterns, pre-kindergarten, student workbooks, and tactile storybooks. worksheets. Pre-kindergarten worksheets pack, that's $14. And then the monitoring charts and reading roundup consumables, $10.35. So they are available as a separate purchase.
Okay, Conchita has asked, how much is the 6 Dots card game?
Oh, let me check that for you. You guys are still seeing the website here, right?
Yes, we are still seeing the website.
It is $99.
This is from Lisa. Will the 6 Dot book become available again to purchase?
Yes, it is our hope that that will happen. They're kind of trying to rotate through and redo and then also bring new ones in. I can't give you a timeline on that, but yes, it is our hope that we'll have that book available again, as well as the other ones.
And 6 Dots will be in UEB, right?
Yes.
All right, super. I've addressed all the questions. Let me give it 10 seconds just in case something pops into somebody's head. Give you a little drink break.
Yeah. Let me get back to my share.
All right.
Okay.
Nothing has come up, so.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, goodness. Let me get back to the beginning here. We're almost to the end of it anyway. So we were just on flip over concept books.
You won that one, yeah.
So the textures one, this one just has a variety of different textures. Some of them are on like a smooth plastic material, and the other ones are almost fuzzy, but they have the same dot and line patterns for both. And then there's 3 different colors. So the nice thing about these books is you can actually pop them open, so you can put pieces in, take pieces out, change the order. We discovered very early on with Parts of a Whole when it first came out, it did not have where you could remove the pieces and change them around. And we've discovered that children are very sneaky or smart, depending on how you want to look at it. And they would just memorize where the parts were. So it became very quick for them to match the pieces, but they weren't using their tactile skills. They were just remembering, oh, it's 3 back and this one's 4 back, and putting them together. So we changed that so you can switch them up for you.
And everything's being offered in UEB, correct? Somebody had asked that just now. Yes. Okay, super. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So lots of dots. Actually, did we update lots of dots in UEB yet?
It's just the letters.
It's just the letters. So okay, that's
Right.
good. I think so.
Well, there's words like apple and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's what.
I don't think it's been updated.
I don't think lots of dots has been updated in UEB. But you can certainly still use just the letter pages here. So lots of dots, we have ABCs, counting and coloring the garden, and it gives you little foam pieces, and there's a plastic like jumbo Braille cell that you can put the pieces in. It's basically just coloring books. So just another fun little way for students to have an opportunity to work independently, and it's all raised lines so they can color that without any assistance.
I know, but like, how does she know where to go?
Oh, that's right. The words are uncontracted, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's UEB because they are uncontracted. I forgot.
She uses speech and text.
So,
he hits it.
So they just help children with visual impairments gain skills similar to those of their sighted peers, and then facilitate peer interaction.
That's for like
just coloring activities, and then there's some follow-up sort of activities.
And once you know,
so that is what I had of just kind of some of the products that we have. There are, of course, a million other products as well that are on our website. Did anybody have any specific questions about those products or other products that you want more information about? Because the other thing I would like to take a little bit of time to show you before we end is the Braille Blaster, actually. But if you guys have some questions, I'm happy to answer those.
I'm not seeing anything yet, but let's give everybody a minute. Was anyone going over the B? I came in.
Oh, yes, I did go over the B. So I will real quickly give you a little showcase of the B.
Hi, I'm Braille Bud.
So the B has 3 different modes. So
A,
it has just a letter mode where it'll give you the letter that's at the top in Braille.
B,
Or if you're pressing on the keyboard,
dot, 1,
it'll tell you what you're
dot,
pressing on.
1, 2.
So that's keyboard mode. And then
Letter mode. Let's make letter.
okay, so letter mode, it'll tell you the dot sequences.
D, dot, 1, 4, 5.
So it's going to tell you dots 1, 4, and 5 for D. You can recreate that, but the nice thing is, even if you push the wrong button combination,
G,
it's just going to tell you what you pressed. So it says G because I pressed dots 1, 2, and 4. 4, 5. So, but it just gives you, no matter if you're pressing on the 6th key entry or you're pressing the letter, it'll just tell you what the letter is.
K, dot, 1,
And then
3,
if you press the Braille letter, it tells you your dot combination.
K,
So get some feedback there. And then the other one is phonics mode.
phonics mode. Let's learn letter sound.
And this one,
D, makes the sound, as in dog.
so you'll get the letter and then you'll get a word and then you'll get a sound. Same thing if you press on the 6th key entry.
B, makes the sound, as in bell.
So that's kind of the quick basic things that the B does.
Another question from Conchita. Do you have any materials in Spanish for Braille readers?
We really don't have very many materials in Spanish, period. The reason I've been told for that is we have actually had some in Spanish, and our sales for those have been very, 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 very low. So they haven't, for a number of years, done very many things, if anything. I don't know. There's a couple of things I think that have some Spanish. I think Nearby Explorer maybe is working on it, but there's really not very much in Spanish. If you guys have needs for that, you need to make sure that you let us know, because of course it's all going to be based on supply and demand kind of thing.
Or somebody said, or bilingual.
Yeah, no. But if we get a lot more requests for that, you know, they may look into offering that again. But we had before, and what we had didn't sell, so we never quite figured that out.
Is there a particular email to send those requests to?
Sure, you can send it to info@aph.org.
Here, I'll type that. Let me slow.
The other thing that you can do is, let me get back
info@aph.org.
Or let me see if I can get back to my website. Where did it go?
For
Okay.
products.
Oh, there it is. The other thing you can do is, if you just go to let's type www.aph.org. The other place that you can do is on the side menu bar here, we have a product suggestion. So if you have a specific product that you want to see have in Spanish, that would be the place to go and do it. If you could provide some justification for, you know, the reasons and how many students you think would be using it, that sort of thing, that sort of information is always useful. But you are certainly welcome to make a product suggestion at any time. Just a heads up that our website is actually going to be changing here very soon. So the bee says goodbye. So the website will be changing again very soon, and it should be a little bit easier to navigate right now. There's just a whole lot of information scattered everywhere. So hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to navigate, but have a product suggestion or just an email to info@aph.org is fine. All right, any other questions?
Nope, we have everything covered right now so far.
Okay, have any of you been using Braille Blaster at all? No? Let's see, let me stop. Okay. Okay, what is Braille Blaster? Okay, I'm going to answer that for you. Okay, so Braille Blaster is a new free software that we have available for you. And I actually, let me go to the website first. Should have done that first. If you go to brailleblaster.org, you can get all kinds of information about it. So basically, it is free, downloadable Braille transcription software. We designed this. Let me get a drink here. We designed this to solve a very specific problem that we were having, which was we were getting the marked up textbook files that were the NIMAS files, and they were already marked up so that headings and poems and things like that were marked. But our transcription software was not recognizing all of those markups. So then our transcribers were having to go back in and make all of those edits and changes to make sure that the formatting was correct in the textbook, which was taking a significant amount of time. So our feeling was, if these files are already marked up and they have marks that say that it's bold, that it's a poem, you know, whatever, that surely there should be a way to import those documents in and have those markups recognized. So this program has been designed specifically for those NIMAC files, which are just textbook file formats. So basically, we can get a textbook file and we can open it into this Braille Blaster software, and it will transcribe it, and pretty much everything that's been marked up properly will then be in the correct format, and we'll just have to go back in and do some proofreading. We've got some quick and easy ways for doing things like adding transcriber notes and those sorts of things, doing indexes. It does kind of a little bit of all of that. So it really is saving us a very, very significant amount of time. One of those things where if you can't find it somewhere else, you just make it yourself. So anyway, if you go to brailleblaster.org, you can find more information about it, and you can also click to download it, and it will give you options for if you have Windows, if you have Macs, if you have Linux. You can find out what the system requirements are for all of those. You can download a sample NIMAS file so that you can use that to play with Braille Blaster and find out how, you know, play with it and see how things are working. So this is an in-progress piece of software. So things are being changed on a regular basis. So it is not 100% perfect. You probably will find some bugs in it as you're going through it if you're doing some of the more advanced transcription things. However, the really nice part about it, I'm going to actually stop this and share Braille Blaster itself, is it is very useful for just teachers or parents who maybe aren't certified Braille transcribers, that don't know every little thing, but they just need to be able to create some quick worksheets or just transcribe a letter, you know, that sort of thing. So once you have it here, you can see on the screen here, those of you who can see the screen, it's set up very similar to like a Word document, where it has a toolbar across the top, it has little icons, bold and italics and underline, all of those things are pretty standard and look similar to what you would see in your word processing document. And basically what you can do is type in here a sentence. You're going to see it in print. If you hit enter, it's going to transcribe it in Braille on the other side. You can actually move these windows too, so if you'd rather have the Braille first and then the print after, you can do all of that. And I'm going to just type a couple of things. Typing, this is another sentence. Just because I need a couple of sentences here to show you things. Okay, so I've got, hello, on one line, hi, my name is Monica. The next line this is another sentence in the next line, and then a fourth line that says just how are you. But for those of you who can visualize this, this is actually fully accessible, so individuals who are blind or visually impaired can use this as well. But for those of you who are sighted and typical Microsoft Word users here, you can select things and you can just hit a button. So if I want to make this bold, I can make it bold. If I want to make something a heading, I can select, I selected hello here, and then I can go up either to styles and heading and do cell 5 heading. Or if I wanted to, I could just go on this toolbar here. It has the little blocks here. This one has a bold line at the top as our heading one. And I could select what kind of heading I wanted. I'm going to make it a centered heading so you can see it's centered. Also, what you can see there is it added a space. It added a blank line. So it knows the proper formatting. So after a centered heading, you always have a blank line. So if you tell it you want something a centered heading, it's going to add that blank line in there for you. You don't have to do it yourself. I can do bulleted lists. I can do a variety of different things. I've got this list. I'm going to change. Let's see. I'm going to go. Oops. I can do poetry. Like if I had poetry, I could tell it how to do that. I could make a glossary. So there's a lot of information on here, things that you probably aren't going to be doing using just basic stuff, but this is really nice for just being able to have parents be able to do basic things. I can make things centered text, so I can center it on the page. So there's a variety of different things I can do. So I just wanted you guys to know that it was there, that it's available for you free. If you download it and you have questions about it, you can always contact us and ask us. We're happy to help you work through it. There are some, I'm going to stop sharing this real quick and hopefully be able to find, share the website again. Let's see, I think we do have some videos on Braille Blaster. I'm trying to figure out if they're on this page. That's just all the fixes. Documentation, oh, there's frequently asked questions there. And there's documentation. So you do have like a Braille reference card there, but there is a video on getting started with Braille Blaster, and there's a video on how to add special symbols to the T-page generator. There are plans to have a number of other videos on there as well. There's some screenshots here that show you different ways to do things, how to do ordered text and things like that. So this, like I said, it's still new. It's still being updated on a regular basis, but our goal is to have a whole lot more kind of self-help files available for it on the future. But I would definitely recommend, if you do any Braille in your classroom, you can then save this. It has its own file format, like the BBX file format, but you can save it as a BRF, a Braille Ready file, and then open it into a different program if you want to, or you can send it straight to the embosser from Braille Blaster as well if you have an embosser. Any questions about?
Yes. Lisa had asked, how do you switch it from UEB to something like Spanish?
Let's see, let me get back into it. I believe that there's a way to do that. I have to tell you that I haven't done it myself. So let's see here. I know you can turn off. Oh, did I share the wrong thing? Let's see. What are you guys seeing Braille Blaster, or are you still seeing the website?
Seeing Braille Blaster.
Okay. So there is a way to like turn off UEB. You can also turn off just certain contractions. So if you got a student you're working with who knows some contractions but not all of them, you could actually turn off just the ones they don't know, which is really cool. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Just checking here to see if there is anything. I don't know that we have any Spanish setting on it yet. I know that right now what they're working on is math. They're working on math ML, math HTML or whatever it is. They're working on that right now. So I don't know that they've gotten to any kind of foreign languages yet. I don't. It would not be under those. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they've done that yet. You can certainly make that request, but I will be honest that the changes and updates that they are making to this program, they are making based on our own internal needs right now. So basically, we are trying to make this program everything that we need it to be for our textbook production. And then, of course, we're happy to share it with anybody who wants to use it as we're going along. But odds are Spanish probably will not get added in there anytime soon, just because we don't really do a lot of books in other languages. Any other questions?
Somebody had a question about the Braille Buzz. It says it appears that the Braille Buzz is not yet in the APH catalog. How do we order it?
It should be in the APH catalog, but is it? Did you say it was back?
It wasn't out when the catalog came out.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't out in the catalog, so it'll be available on the shopping website. But it was. That's right. It didn't get released in time to be in the catalog. There's a picture of it in the catalog, but the product listing itself is not in the catalog because it got delayed. So that's, if you look in the catalog and you see the picture of it on the one page, that's because we were being really, really hopeful that it was going to be in there, but then it wasn't. But it is available on the shopping website. But I believe it is on back order right now. So.
All right, I'm going to take this final moment just to see if anybody has any questions, because it is 3:58. One last call for questions. Give everybody a chance to type. Any news on the new APH website?
Well, like I said, if you go to the website right now and look at it, it does say our new website look is coming soon. That's what I know. Our new website look is coming soon. I'm not sure exactly when the release date is, and even if they had told me a release date, I probably wouldn't tell you what it is because it keeps being wrong. So it'll get there when it gets there, I guess. Hopefully very soon, though.
Okay. Oh, I got to thank you. These webinars are most helpful. So Monica, I want to thank you so much for presenting. Sure. You just got another compliment. Nice webinar. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for participating in Maryland School for the Blind to Ask the Expert series today. Please join us for our next Ask the Expert webinar on March 18th, Monday, March 18th. We are going to be featuring our Maryland's very own Conchita Hernandez. She was on the call with us today, and she is going to be focusing on English language learners with visual impairments with an emphasis on Braille. And you'll be seeing that come out in the Paths to Literacy newsletter next week. So I hope to see all of you there, and I hope all of you register. So thank you so much and have a great week, everyone.
Thanks.